No one could have been more surprised then that you became a star. You must have shocked yourself.
I still am. I'm still in shock.
Audrey Hepburn, to this day, epitomizes grace, elegance, and humility. The exceptionally gifted and stunning actress left an indelible mark on the silver screen during the 1950s and 1960s, portraying iconic roles in timeless classics such as Breakfast at Tiffany's and Roman Holiday. However, Hepburn transcended the superficial allure of beauty. In reality, her past harbored a much darker narrative concealed from the public eye. Brussels witnessed the birth of Audrey Rustin on May 4, 1929, a stark departure from the glamorous realms of Hollywood. Early on, her life was characterized by a nomadic existence, as her family traversed continents due to her father's professional commitments. Roaming from London to Arnhem and beyond, young Audrey acquired proficiency in an impressive 6 languages. Despite the apparent privilege, her family concealed a twisted, dark side. Audrey's parents fervently embraced the burgeoning Nazi regime, actively participating in marches in Germany to demonstrate their support. Her father, Joseph, immersed himself in prejudiced convictions to an alarming extent, committing an unthinkable act in 1935. He abandoned Audrey and her mother, seeking refuge in London to dedicate more time to fascist pursuits. The abrupt severance from her father cut Audrey to the core, evoking an undeniably heartbreaking reaction. Reflecting on this harrowing chapter, Audrey admitted that her father's vanishing act stood as the most traumatic event of my life. Yet the narrative did not end there. Post his departure, Audrey resided in Kent, attending boarding school. Despite the supposed visitation rights, her father remained absent. Audrey's isolation reached profound depths. While her peers reunited with her parents on weekends and holidays, Audrey found herself perpetually alone, isolation destined to intensify. The onset of World War II brought about the most profound upheaval in Audrey's life. Audrey, assuming she was headed to safety, unknowingly plunged into the heart of the storm. Despite initial perceptions, the Netherlands transformed from a perceived sanctuary into one of the most perilous regions on the global map. In 1940, the 10-year-old Audrey witnessed the German invasion of Holland. The military incursion not only extinguished hope, but also introduced the ominous presence of the SS. However, the reality exceeded Audrey's worst fears. Reflecting on her traumatic childhood, Audrey articulated, "Had we known that we were going to be occupied for 5 years, we might have all shot ourselves. We thought it might be over next week. 6 months. Next year, that's how we got through." To evade identification as English, she adopted the alias Etta van Heemstra. Despite her sincere efforts to maintain a low profile, the ensuing years were fraught with persistent fear. For an extended period, Audrey and her housemates lived as prisoners, at times concealed in the cellar, while the echoes of gunfire reverberated around them. It marked the commencement of an interminable nightmare. In 1942, a bloody and pivotal moment unfolded, as Audrey's 2 uncles were forcibly torn from their homes, held hostage, and ruthlessly shot. This brutal loss, which Audrey had previously observed in silence, irrevocably changed everything. From that juncture onward, Audrey found herself entangled in the clandestine web of the Dutch resistance. She clandestinely distributed its papers and ingeniously concealed messages in the soles of her shoes, transporting them to the Allies. Above all aspirations, Audrey harbored dreams of becoming a prima ballerina, and even amidst the harshest adversities, she remained eager to perform. Having honed her dance skills at boarding school, Audrey graced the stage, providing entertainment for the Dutch resistance. The underground concerts she orchestrated served as fundraising events for the cause. However, the joy of dance could not dispel the overarching melancholy of her reality after each performance. Applause was conspicuously absent, replaced by silence and a sea of smiling faces, a covert affair, devoid of any audible expressions. While Audrey sought solace in dance, the year 1944 ushered in a fresh array of horrors. In 1944, just when she believed things couldn't deteriorate further, they did. The Dutch endured a devastating famine during the colder winter months. German forces obstructed routes for food and supplies, plunging Audrey into a realm of starvation and malnutrition. Her family, left with no alternative, resorted to making bread from tulip bulbs. It seemed Audrey had reached rock bottom, yet her trials were far from over. Ravaged by hunger, her health spiraled into a terrifying decline. Audrey's entire existence appeared to crumble as she battled afflictions such as anemia, malnutrition, and respiratory issues. To compound matters, her family's financial standing crumbled, with many grand estates reduced to rubble. Audrey Hepburn, destined for cinematic greatness, found herself penniless, Finally, as World War II concluded after years of fear and uncertainty, Audrey tasted liberation. A vivid memory etched in her mind was a UNICEF worker presenting her with a chocolate bar. It heralded a new era. Recalling the moment, she remarked, "It was so exciting, and that's when life started again." In the face of long-awaited freedom, Audrey wasted no time. Armed with ambition, she embarked on a formidable challenge, one that would lead her straight to destiny. Post-liberation, Audrey clung to her ballerina dreams. Upon moving to London with a ballet scholarship, she commenced her training at Ballet Rambert. However, a significant impediment surfaced. The lost years and health setbacks became painfully apparent upon her arrival. Other dancers, far more advanced, cast a shadow over her aspirations. Due to the toll exacted by wartime and her health struggles, another disappointment awaited a bitter pill to swallow. Audrey confronted a stark reality. The dream of becoming a prima ballerina was unattainable. Her time at Ballet Rambert shattered her aspirations definitively. Physically weakened and deemed too diminutive for stardom, Audrey navigated uncharted waters. Yet, she wasn't ready to capitulate just yet. She found an alternative avenue to pursue her passion, acting. While navigating her acting career, Audrey balanced the pursuit of another joy in life, romance. For an extended period, Audrey had been acquainted with the industrialist James Hansen. Their meeting in London culminated in his proposal in 1952, marking Audrey's first engagement. Initially resembling a genuine fairy tale, Audrey asserted it was love at first sight. However, the impending wedding witnessed a heart-wrenching twist. As the day approached, she abruptly called it off in a manner deemed utterly brutal. Audrey was all set to marry James Hansen. Having attended her dress fitting and even set a date, however, despite meticulous preparations, there would be no wedding bells for the hopeful couple amidst the wedding planning. Audrey confronted the daunting realization that their marriage would crumble. Under the weight of their demanding careers, the sting of rejection didn't stop there. In the aftermath of the broken engagement, she made a public declaration, "When I get married, I want to be married," a poignant statement revealing Audrey's determination to seek genuine commitment. Confronted with the setbacks of a failed dancing career and a shattered engagement, Audrey plunged headlong into show business, a consolation prize of sorts. Initially disinterested in becoming an actress, she viewed acting as a means to put food on the table, with occasional musical roles providing. A semblance of the dancing she yearned for. Acting, at the time, was merely a job, yet it would soon evolve into something far more profound. Transitioning from the stage, Audrey ventured into small film roles, unknowingly on a trajectory that would propel her to the pinnacle of success. In a fortuitous turn of events, Audrey encountered a creative luminary who extended an offer she couldn't refuse. While filming a scene for 1953's Monte Carlo Baby at the Hôtel de Paris, the esteemed writer and actress Colette noticed Audrey. Getting straight to the point, Colette inquired if Audrey would like the lead role in Gigi on Broadway. This, however, was just the beginning of Audrey's ascension. In a single month, Audrey's stars aligned, granting her two significant breaks, one on Broadway and the other in Hollywood. In 1951, director William Wyler, captivated by Audrey's screen test, envisioned her as the lead in his upcoming film, Roman Holiday. Notably, she triumphed over one of the most sought-after actresses. Initially considering Elizabeth Taylor for the role, William Wyler underwent a complete change of heart upon witnessing Audrey's allure. She had everything I was looking for: charm, innocence, and talent. She also was very funny. She was enchanting, and we said, "That's the girl." But the story didn't end there. Audrey's co-star Gregory Peck, recognizing her burgeoning greatness, insisted on equal billing. Originally slated to come second to his name, Audrey's billing was revised at Peck's insistence. The gracious leading man foresaw Audrey's meteoric rise, stating, "You've got to change that because she'll be a big star, and I'll look like a big jerk." Gregory Peck's foresight proved accurate. Audrey Hepburn found herself in the right movie at the right time, a breath of fresh air for all audiences. In Roman Holiday, she embodied a new ideal of beauty, one more relatable than the ethereal bombshells like Grace Kelly and Marilyn Monroe. Audrey's beauty, unique and unpolished, was remarkably accessible. From the outset, she exhibited the qualities of a burgeoning style icon. In her portrayal of Princess Anne in Roman Holiday, Audrey Hepburn displayed captivating dualities, accentuating her boyish qualities with a cropped hairstyle, thick eyebrows, and a slight figure. By 1954, Cecil Beaton, the acclaimed fashion photographer, had already hailed her as the public embodiment of our new feminine ideal. With merely one film in her repertoire, public expectations soared, a testament to her undeniable talent. For Audrey Hepburn, the realm of Hollywood was a stark departure from her wartime experiences in the Netherlands during World War II. Feeling somewhat out of place in the cinematic landscape, she remarkably secured an Academy Award for Best Actress right out of the gate. This accolade marked a pivotal moment that entirely reshaped her life, unbeknownst to her at the time. Her subsequent film paired her with two Hollywood icons, Humphrey Bogart and William Holden. However, Bogart's reception of Audrey was frosty, influenced by his preference for his wife, Lauren Bacall, in the role of Sabrina. Audrey, an inexperienced newcomer, found herself caught in the crossfire. William Holden, in contrast, was enamored with his co-star, struck by her doe-eyed charm. Amidst their collaboration, Audrey and Holden stepped on a clandestine affair. Holden, harboring a long-standing crush on the graceful actress, swiftly transitioned from friendship to passionate affection. However, their path to a happily ever after faced significant obstacles. William Holden, far from a Prince Charming, grappled with personal issues, including his fondness for alcohol and an existing marriage. Despite these challenges, he proposed to Audrey only to face rejection. The reason behind Audrey's decision was tied to her yearning for a family, an aspiration complicated by Holden's prior vasectomy. Heartbroken, Holden lamented, "I was in love with Audrey, but she wouldn't marry me." The doomed romance left Holden more affected than Audrey, who, despite the disappointment, was propelled into the thrilling world of stardom. Roman Holiday not only made her a star, but also brought her a Tony Award for her Broadway performance in Undine. Just 3 days after her Best Actress win, life suddenly bombarded her from every angle: interview requests, project offers, and endless opportunities. Following Gregory Peck's return from working with Audrey on Roman Holiday, he enthusiastically introduced her to his best friend, actor Mel Ferrer. The sparks ignited between Audrey and Ferrer, intensifying during their collaboration in Undine. Their on-screen chemistry translated into a real-life romance that began to flourish behind the scenes. From an external perspective, Audrey and Ferrer may have appeared as an unconventional couple. Audrey, at 24, was in a different life chapter than Ferrer, who had 2 ex-wives and 4 children. Despite these differences, an undeniable compatibility bound them. As Audrey's career soared, so did her love for Ferrer. In contrast to her fleeting affair with Holden, Ferrer possessed something indispensable to Audrey. Audrey's affection for Ferrer stemmed from their shared similarities. Intelligent and well-educated, he, like her, was multilingual and hailed from a European background. Both harbored a profound passion for film. In September 1954, they chose to marry in a discreet ceremony in Switzerland. However, Audrey's burgeoning happiness foreshadowed impending heartbreak. As collaborators, Audrey and Ferrer thrived, brainstorming ideas at the kitchen table. Initially, their marriage flourished, but life had harsh curveballs in store. Audrey's paramount desire was motherhood, yet her path to this dream was painfully fraught. Shortly after their wedding, Audrey joyfully discovered her first pregnancy, only to endure a devastating miscarriage in 1955. 4 years later, the news of a second pregnancy kindled hope, but a tragic accident during the filming of The Unforgiven shattered their happiness. In 1959, a horseback riding scene turned disastrous when Audrey was thrown from her horse, breaking her back. Compounding the tragedy, she was pregnant at the time. After a 6-week recovery in the hospital, she returned to filming, concealing her injury with a back brace and specially designed costumes. Despite her resilience, months later, tragedy struck again: a second miscarriage. The director, John Huston, held himself responsible, attributing Audrey's miscarriage to the horseback riding incident during the film. Audrey and Ferrer grappled with profound grief, yet a silver lining emerged. Audrey's resilience reached its pinnacle on July 17, 1960, with the birth of Audrey Hepburn Ferrer. Fearful of history repeating itself, she took a year-long hiatus from acting to ensure a healthy pregnancy. This strategic move paid off, allowing Audrey to embrace her role as a mother without compromising her star power. In the very next year, she embarked on her most iconic role. In the face of love, loss, and triumph, Audrey Hepburn's journey reflects the indomitable spirit of a woman who turned adversity into enduring strength. In 1961, Audrey took on the challenge of portraying Holly Golightly in the film adaptation of Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's. Interestingly, Capote's initial choice was Marilyn Monroe, but fate had a different plan. Monroe declined the role due to the character's nature, opening the door for Audrey. However, this choice stirred controversy, leaving Capote less than thrilled. On set, Audrey battled not just the pressure of the role, but also Capote's disapproval, which fueled her self-consciousness. As an introvert, playing the extroverted Holly proved challenging. Even the iconic window shopping scene, though seemingly effortless on screen, was a nerve-wracking experience for Audrey. Surrounded by hundreds of onlookers, Audrey's dedication and resilience shone through the difficulties. The window shopping scene, though stressful, became a turning point when a cast member faced danger, pushing Audrey to overcome her anxiety. Despite doubts, Breakfast at Tiffany's became a pivotal moment in Audrey's life. The film's impact extends beyond Audrey's performance. Her look in Breakfast at Tiffany's, from Givenchy's little black dress to the iconic updo and sunglasses, continues to define elegance. Despite her on-screen glamour, Audrey's off-screen relationship with her appearance was complex. Contrary to her glamorous image, Audrey preferred comfort and simple clothing. Despite global admiration, she admitted to periods of self-hatred and battled insecurities about her body. In her own eyes, Audrey, even at her petite stature, felt too fat or too tall at times. Yet, amidst her struggles, one man saw her as the epitome of inspiration. Audrey's collaboration with fashion designer Hubert de Givenchy began with Sabrina, where a humorous misunderstanding turned into a lifelong connection. Givenchy, expecting Audrey Hepburn, was pleasantly surprised by Audrey. Their collaboration became a defining professional romance, with Givenchy's designs complementing not just Audrey's attire, but also her unique persona. In the grand tapestry of Audrey Hepburn's life, Breakfast at Tiffany's was a mere chapter. But what unfolded beyond the scenes showcased a woman of resilience, style, and enduring grace. In 1964, Audrey and William Holden reunited for Paris When It Sizzles, but their on-screen chemistry mirrored real-life complications. Holden, still carrying a torch for Audrey, attempted to reignite their past passion. Unfortunately, his misguided attempt to seduce the married Audrey took a humiliating turn. Holden's ill-fated decision to climb to Audrey's dressing room window while intoxicated ended in a fall, marking a point of no return in their relationship. The incident became a spectacle of embarrassment, leaving Audrey to grapple with the aftermath of a relationship gone sour. Despite Audrey's thriving career and enduring popularity, her personal life faced challenges. As the camera stopped rolling, she battled demons from her past, confronting long-buried insecurities that cast shadows on her marriage. Audrey's success in the spotlight couldn't shield her from the tumultuous aspects of her journey. Her marriage became a battleground for the insecurities she carried, threatening its stability. In the dichotomy of her public triumphs and private struggles, Audrey Hepburn remained a complex and resilient icon. In the narrative of Audrey Hepburn's life, the echoes of style and elegance intertwined with personal tribulations, forming a nuanced portrait of a woman who navigated both the glamour of fame and the complexities of the human experience. What do you feel about Audrey Hepburn's life? Let us know your thoughts. Thank you for watching the entire video. See you in the next interesting videos.